What is up, guys? It is your favorite Talker Lotus here today, and welcome back to the Nerdcore Nerd Corner. And in today's video, it is time yet again for another Sustain the Industry, the series of videos where I show you guys all the anime and manga that I've picked up for the month, supporting the anime and manga industry by picking up your favorite series and adding it to your collection. Because, hey man, these creators, they work really hard to give us the stuff that we love. So the very least we can do is spend a few dollars, or in my case, a lot of dollars, to show how much we appreciate them. I'll leave a link in the description down below where you guys can follow me on Twitter so you guys can interact with me and we can talk about all things anime manga related. I'm not usually a big fan of Twitter, but I have been pretty active, so if you want to follow me, we can definitely talk more on there about whatever you want. And yeah, I won't waste any more time. We can jump straight into this. So, let's go. The first series I want to show you guys is Buso Renkin, Volume 2. For those of you who saw, it might have been my March or April Sustained Industry video, I picked up all 28 volumes of Rurouni Kenshin all at once. And you guys can see I have those volumes laid out here in the background today. But I got the volumes on eBay, and the seller also included the first volume of Buso Renkin, which I had never heard of before until I got it. But it was also done by Nobuhiro Watsuki, the same mangaka who created Rurouni Kenshin. So I figured that if nothing else, it'd have pretty great art and a halfway decent story. And from what I heard from other people who know about this series, have seen the anime or read some of the manga, they said pretty much, yeah, that's exactly it. It has pretty decent art, or actually pretty great art and a pretty decent story. So it's a 10-volume series. I had the first volume. I figured 9 more volumes, and you can find it pretty cheap. I figured it was at least worth adding to the collection. So here we have Volume 2. And here we have Volume 3. Volume 4, and you can see my bookmark sticking out at the top there. I'm currently reading this volume right now. I'm just about finished with it. I actually stopped reading it to record this video. And here we have Volume 5. Volume 6, and I gotta say, I really love the color scheme for all of these volumes. Volume 7, this one in particular, I really love the colors on this one. This one and the next one, Volume 8, are probably my favorites out of all 10 of these. And we have Volume 8, love that purple color there. And Volume 9. And last but not least, we have Volume 10. Now, I didn't know what on earth this series was about. I had no idea what to expect from it, other than the fact that I was definitely going to enjoy the art, because Nobuhiro Watsuki is a very talented illustrator. He's a wonderful mangaka, and I loved his art in Rurouni Kenshin. Especially his action sequences. Like, he has this very unique way of portraying action with like these splatter effects and these lines that I haven't seen from any other mangaka, and it's something that I thoroughly enjoy. And if I can, I'll include some images, some screenshots on the video right now, so you guys can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But yes, I was basically going into this series blind, knowing absolutely nothing about it except for what I know about Nobuhiro Watsuki. As it turns out, this is a series, it's a shonen battle manga. It revolves around alchemy, basically. But it's not alchemy like Fullmetal Alchemist. In this series, there's only 2 types of alchemy, one being the Buso Renkin, which is a sort of weapon, and the other being homunculus or homunculi, which are basically monsters. Some of them are like half animal, and then there's like humanoid homunculi, which are like insanely strong and powerful and things of that nature. Our main character is this boy right here, Kazuki Muto, and this is kind of like our secondary protagonist. Her name is Tokiko. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Tokiko, something like that. And basically, in the first volume, he sees this girl who he had never seen before, wearing a uniform he didn't recognize, wandering to this like abandoned warehouse of sorts, and she's about to be attacked by this monster. He jumps in to save her, but he's actually killed. Lo and behold, it turns out that his death was in vain because she was not in any actual danger. She is an alchemic warrior who was trying to lure the homunculus into a trap so that she could safely isolate it and dispose of it herself without getting any civilians involved. He dies in the process, as I said, trying to quote-unquote protect her, or at least he thought he was going to protect her. And she basically restores his life by giving him the power of a Buso Renkin, a kakugane as they call it, which is like this I don't know what you'd call it, but this stone-looking tablet thing here in the background, that's a kakugane, and it gives you the power of a Buso Renkin. So in short, the kakugane actually becomes his heart and gives him a newfound life, and he becomes basically a typical high school boy whose life gets turned upside down when he becomes equipped with the powers, some supernatural powers, and he must fight off monsters. So yes, in a sense, this is a pretty generic shonen story that we've seen many times before. And when I first started reading it, I didn't have high expectations for it, because as I was reading, I was like, yeah, this doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere amazing. But the more I read, the more I'm enjoying it. And as you guys saw earlier, I'm on volume 4, and it's gotten better and better with each volume. And it still isn't anything super unique or amazing, but like I said, it's getting better, and I am actually enjoying it. Like, I was never bored when I got into the series, and I didn't write it off as just being generic automatically, because I gave it the benefit of the doubt. And plus, I have all 10 volumes, and on top of 10 volumes not being expensive, 10 volumes also is not a huge commitment to read, at least not for me, because I read relatively fast. So anyway, it's generic for now, but it's pretty well done. I love the art, like I said, and it's getting better and better with each volume. So I'm enjoying where it's going, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. I heard that this series actually ended early. It was canceled due to lack of popularity, and that's why it's only 10 volumes. Now, it does have a decent ending. It does actually have an actual ending. It didn't like end in the middle of nowhere, but it wasn't how, I guess, Nobuhiro Watsuki originally intended to end it. He intended it to be longer. So there is that, but from what I understand, the series is pretty decent, and I'm enjoying it so far, so I'm looking forward to reading more. And I rambled on about the series a lot longer than I intended to, but hopefully you guys didn't mind. Yeah, that's volume 10. Next series that I have here is Dragon Ball Z. I finally picked up the remaining volumes I needed for Dragon Ball Z, and now I finally have all 42 volumes of the Dragon Ball series manga. Yes, all 16 volumes of Dragon Ball and all 26 volumes of Dragon Ball Z. It was a long time coming, but it's finally complete. And here we have volume 21 with the Supreme Kai, Goten, and Trunks on the front cover, which, by the way, I love this cover a lot. These are 3 of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, or I wouldn't really say favorite, but 3 characters who could have been my favorites had they been utilized more. I feel like these characters are very underrated and underutilized, because Goten and Trunks, they never really amounted to anything much. Kid Trunks never lived up to how awesome Future Trunks was. Goten was just a kid who never really did anything. And even when they fused into Gotenks, they never actually accomplished much. And the Supreme Kai, he kind of was just there. He was supposed to be relatively strong, but he never actually did anything. But one of the reasons I really like this cover, other than the fact that I like these characters, is this sneaker right here on top of Trunks' head. For those who don't know, that's actually an Air Jordan 5 silhouette. The Air Jordan 5 originally released in 1990. And I don't know why I'm suddenly getting into facts about Jordans. You guys don't care about that, but reason I like this is because I used to buy a lot of Air Jordans. I love shoes, I love fashion, I like sneakers a lot. And I like the Air Jordan 5 model. So just seeing that Akira Toriyama kind of illustrated that in a more cartoony sense and put it in the cover of the Dragon Ball Z volume, that's just pretty cool in my opinion. And there we have the back of that one. Here we have volume 22 with Goten on the front. I like the image on the back a lot more than I like the image on the front. Not that the one on the front is bad by any means, but this is just a lot cooler in my opinion. And here we have volume 23 with Majin Buu and Hercule, aka Mr. Satan. And once again, I like the image on the back of this one a lot more than the front. Here we have volume 24 with Gotenks. Now, I do like this cover, and when I was younger, I thought Gotenks was a really cool character, but the older I got, the more I realized that Gotenks is completely useless, and he's just a complete joke of a character. Like, he's supposed to be one of the strongest, most powerful warriors in the universe, at least at the time, and was possibly #1 at one point, but he's never won a single fight. Like, if you look back, if you read the manga or watch the anime, he's gotten his ass kicked every single time he's shown up in the series. Even now in Dragon Ball Super, like, anytime he shows up, he just gets beat down, and it's really a shame, because so much wasted potential, and I always loved his character design. But as I grew up, I realized that he kind of sucks. So there's that. But yeah, there's the back of that one. But on the back of this one, we do get that really sick drawing of a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I never actually was a big fan of the Super Saiyan 3 character design. I always thought it looked really weird, the fact that he has no eyebrows. But I always loved the Super Saiyan 3 hair, because I just like long hair. So I always thought that was really dope. But just the fact that Super Saiyan 3 doesn't have eyebrows always really threw me off. And here we have volume 25, which is actually a really thick volume. Hold on, let me just pick up volume 24 again so I can kind of compare. I don't know how well you guys can tell, but volume 25 is a good amount thicker than volume 24 is. So yeah. But yeah, this is volume 25 as we end the near of the entire Dragon Ball Z series. And a sick image of Gotenks, Gohan, and Goku there on the back. That's actually a really wonderful drawing. And then last but not least, we have volume 26, the end of the series. And this might be my favorite cover in Dragon Ball Z. I really love the color scheme here. I love the little galaxy in the background. The outfit Goku's wearing, everything just looks really great here in my opinion. And there we have Kid Buu on the back. And this volume is actually really thick too. It's just as thick, if not a little thicker than volume 25. But yeah, that's it. That completes my Dragon Ball Z collection. And now we move on to the next series I picked up. And to start it off, we have volume 1, and that is Hikaru no Go. Now, I don't expect a lot of people to know about this series. I think more people know about this than Buso Renkin, but I think this is a pretty underrated and relatively unknown series. This is a series that I found out about through Toonami back in the day, and I would expect that some people my age, a few of you out there, might have also learned about this series the same way that I did. It's about this young boy right here, Hikaru Shindo, a 6th grader who discovers a haunted Go board as being haunted by a legendary player of the game, someone who's really great, and he basically goes on to try to become a very skilled and talented Go player and defeat this other legend known as Akira Toya, which I tend to wonder to myself if that's like an homage to Akira Toriyama by any chance. I don't know a whole lot about this series because I've never read the manga myself and I've never seen the entirety of the anime. I just remember seeing a few episodes here and there when I was younger on Toonami and really liking it, and I've always really loved Hikaru's character design. Like the hairstyle was always just really unique to me, how it's like two-toned and the way it's parted. I thought it was dope, plus I like the way he dresses, and you guys already know for me, a big role in my enjoyment of a series is the art and aesthetics behind things. Like if I like the main character's design and I like the way that they're drawn and the way they dress, it really adds a lot to my experience and my enjoyment of any manga or anime series. I know it sounds like a very petty or shallow, unimportant thing to a lot of people, but that's we all have our own likes and dislikes, our own preferences, and for me, just the aesthetic and the design of a character plays a pretty big role in things. Like, of course, story beats anything else in terms of, you know, what's important when it comes to an anime or manga, but art, design, very close up there for me personally. But yeah, Hikaru no Go, it's a pretty underrated series. I don't really hear anyone at all ever talk about it. I don't think I've seen it in more than maybe 1 or 2 manga collection videos and maybe 1 manga haul video, but I'm happy to be adding it to my collection. And here we have volume 1. Here we have volume 2. And if you didn't notice already, hold up volume 3 real quick so you guys can see. If you look at to see who the art is by, it is by Takeshi Obata. And you might recognize that name from, I don't know, Death Note, Bakuman, All You Need Is Kill. Yes, Takeshi Obata is a very talented illustrator, one of my favorite manga artists in existence. I love his artwork a lot, and that's one of the major reasons that I wanted this in my collection, because even though I do remember liking this series when I was younger, I also really wanted it because I'm such a huge fan of Takeshi Obata's artwork, and I want most of his series that are released in English in my collection just because I love his art just that much, that I want to be able to admire it in every story that he's done that's been released in English. Speaking of which, I'm really looking forward to Platinum End, his latest series that is also being written by Tsugumi Oba, who also did Death Note with him. And I believe the first volume will be releasing in English in October, and I'm really looking forward to that releasing because the art looks absolutely amazing. I love all the covers for that, and I hear that the story is pretty good. I've heard actually some mixed reviews. I've heard from some people that it's actually absolute trash, and I've heard from other people that it's absolutely amazing. I'll speak for myself once I get the first volume in hand, but yeah. But anyway, here's volume 3 of Hikaru no Go. Volume 4. Volume 5. Volume 6. Volume 7. Volume 8. Volume 9. Volume 10, which I think has a pretty cool looking cover. Like I said before, I'm just a really big fan of Hikaru's character design, so seeing him on the front of these covers is something that I do really enjoy. And here we have Volume 11, which just might have my favorite cover in the series. I've only got the first 12 volumes so far. It's a 23 volume series, so 11 more to go. But I think out of the first 12 that I have here today, this one just might be my favorite. It's very close, if it's not number 1 for me right now. You guys already know how I feel about cherry blossoms. Love them, love them, love them. Second favorite flower. And here we have volume 12. So that's all I picked up of Hikaru no Go. I am looking forward to picking up the rest of the series. Like I said before, I'm no expert on the series myself. I'm sure there are plenty of people who know more about it than I do, but I'm also just as sure that there are just as many people who know less about it than I do. So I'm looking forward to reading the series. If nothing else, I love admiring Takeshi Obata's artwork. Like I said, I'm a big fan. You guys already know. I ramble on about art aesthetics in almost every video I do that talks about manga, so I'm sure you guys get the point by now. But yeah, that's the last volume that I picked up for the month of June, and I'm looking forward to reading all of it. So that is everything that I picked up for the month of June, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of surprised I didn't buy any anime Blu-rays this month, because I usually do that, but I guess I didn't do that, but next time I'll be sure to do that. But yeah, definitely let me know in the comment section down below what you guys picked up this month, what you added to your own collections, what anime and manga you're looking forward to grabbing next month. I believe the first volume of Haikyuu will actually be releasing in English in just a few days now, so I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will be adding that to their collections. I have not read or watched Haikyuu myself, but I am more interested in the sports genre ever since I watched Kuriko's basketball. So I'll definitely check it out for myself, see if it's something that I like and that I'm interested in and want to start buying and adding to my collection. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today, guys. So hit this video with a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, so you guys can stay tuned for all the awesome content I plan on bringing you. With all that being said, that's pretty much all I have for today, so I will catch you guys next time. Later.